Hi, Todd Pouliot, Gateway Financial, mygatewaymoney.com. Again, to learn more about us and to contact us directly, we'd appreciate that. Again, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. We appreciate you when you do that. It helps us with the algorithm. And subscribe to our channel. Really helps out a lot, and we appreciate you viewing these over and over again. And if you ring the bell, you'll be notified when we have new videos for you. Today, I'm bringing you a very complex checklist. I do want to caution you that this is a complex investment tool, so understand where we're going with this. And we're going to talk about annuities today and how they fit into a retirement plan. And is that right for you? So there are 5 different types of annuities that are out there. There's the immediate annuity, a single premium immediate annuity, multi-year guaranteed annuities, fixed annuities, fixed index annuities, which are seemingly very popular lately. But there are, again, a lot of complications and a lot of moving parts in there, and also variable annuities that you can have as deferred annuities too. So this checklist, I just want to make sure everybody follows along. We're going to do a very high level walk through this, but make sure you understand what is going on, because the annuity world is changing, interest rates are changing. And in fact, the insurance companies that offer these products have learned there's many advisors out there who don't accept commissions, much like we do not accept commissions. So they're finding ways to create new tools and new products that don't involve commissions, which can overall help lower your costs. So one of the things that we want to do with this checklist is look at securing a predictable income stream in retirement. It's likely a very common goal for our client base. There's numerous products and strategies available, and our clients do rely on us to guide us through this complex analysis, and it helps establish an optimal retirement income plan. Annuities can offer income protection as several other advantages that we'd like to work with our clients' financial plans. Depending upon the individual's needs and circumstances, annuities can be used to protect the client's investments. The initial investment, which is commonly referred to as a premium, again, this is an insurance product, supplement recurring income streams, allows tax-deferred growth, funding long-term care, achieve wealth transfer goals, and some other advantages. So an annuity strategy merits consideration before either being dismissed or implemented. To help us navigate an annuity with our clients, we've created this checklist, and we're going to cover 5 major areas here. A variable, fixed, and index annuities, which we kind of briefly touched on earlier, immediate and deferred income annuities, purchase funding methods, riders and other features, and lastly, and it wouldn't be a video without it, tax considerations. So as usual, we're going to share our screen with you here, and we're going to start out. Do you need to review your retirement assets and time horizon? Boy, I sure hope you're doing that on a regular basis. If you're a client of ours, well, you already are. Do you need to revisit your risk tolerance? And again, I always put in that little comma, risk capacity. If you don't know what I mean by that, contact us and we'll walk you through the difference. Do you need to help understanding the basic types of annuities and what might best fit with your investment strategy? Again, it is an income stream, much like a pension, but it is also an investment strategy. Compare different types of return, variable, fixed, and equity index, the timing of the income, deferred or an immediate annuity offered by different kinds of annuities. Also consider the term, a fixed period or a lifetime, sometimes a joint lifetime as well. And that is part of the overall complexity, just beginning to look at annuities. When do I need it? How do I need it? And how long do I need it? You need to consider how your age affects what options are available to you. Some of them are not allowed to have certain riders before a certain age, and they may not offer it past a certain age. Remember, a lot of these have what's called a contingent deferred sales charge. I've seen them as long as 20 years in my career. I saw that once with an 80-year-old senior citizen, and I was shocked that she had owned a annuity that had a 20-year surrender period. And quite frankly, we couldn't help her out because of those situations. That's why I like looking at annuities that don't have a commission. So there is no contingent deferred sales charge because there was no sale done and no commission. Cash flow issues. Do you need to review your expected or current sources of retirement income? How an annuity could balance or diversify your retirement portfolio and fund any shortfalls in your income plan. Do you want to supplement your current income? Do you want to supplement your future income? Do you need to determine how the chosen term of payments, single life, joint and survivor life, or a fixed term? And what we mean by that is I want to sign up for annuity. Let's say I'm single and I want to sign up for the rest of my life. What happens if I do become deceased in 6 months? What happens to all that money? Sometimes you can guarantee it for minimum of 10 years, especially if you're married and you choose a single life on the healthier person, assuming that they're going to live longer and something happens. You can do a term, a fixed term at minimum. If there any chance you'll need access to the principal early. This is one of the big concerns I have with annuities because they are locking up your money in expectation of a future results. Consider what withdrawals are permitted, as well as the potential income tax consequences and penalties of an early withdrawal, including any premature withdrawal penalties, which are those surrender fees. Those are fees. Fees inside of annuities are absolutely mind-boggling sometimes. So make sure you understand all the fees that are included. A steady stream of income, is that your top priority? Consider a fixed annuity. Generally, the interest rates is guaranteed for a term and renewal rates are subject to a floor. Current rate could be 3%, it could go up to 7%, but the floor could be 2%. So make sure you understand what those guarantees on interest rates are. Are you willing to incur risk in order to seek potential growth for a greater monthly income? And this is an area I saw a lot of activity probably a decade ago, which was good. Variable annuity, you can choose investments offerings with potential for growth or losses, because there is some risk involved during the accumulation phase. With don't forget the underlying sub accounts that you choose will have fees and costs inside of those as well. With an indexed annuity, you are guaranteed some certain minimum return in addition to being credited with a return that tracks an index, i.e. the participation rate. Again, these tools, specifically these fixed indexed annuities or indexed annuities, become very, very complicated with this participation rate, and it allows for potential gains, and it's subject to a cap, but with less risk than a variable annuity. Just be cognizant, understanding the differences here, but understanding these are very complex tools, and understand what those tools are before you decide to purchase one. Do you need to review any riders that might be offered? Now, again, most of these riders do come with added charges. So, but the riders sometimes are very good. Guaranteed lifetime or minimum withdrawal benefit, a death benefit, a return of premium refund, a COLA or cost of living adjustment protection, disability or terminal illness, long-term care, and among other different, there's so many riders out there, we could not write them all on this checklist for you, but they will also add another layer of expense. So make sure you're getting what you pay for, and that expected return on that rider will be beneficial to you. Do you need to compare how different types of annuity features can be combined and tailored to your needs? Again, there's so many different insurers out there and so many different products that they offer. Can or will the interest rate on the annuity change? Don't lock in a very low interest rate. Now, when we're in a rising interest rate environment, can it go lower? So those are the things that you need to read the contract. Do you need to examine various contract features and expenses when comparing annuity options? Features may vary depending on the type of annuity, and I went over that very early in the video. Surrender period, I covered a little bit in that contingent deferred sales charge. Income rider, cash benefits, death benefits, what is and is not guaranteed, Read the contract. Recurring fees may vary depending upon the type of annuity you purchase. Review and compare administrative fees, management fees, advisor fees, insurance fees, surrender charges, and potential crisis waivers, expense risk charges, etc. Uh, in the time I've done reviewing annuities, sometimes you see somebody targeting a 5% return in their annuity, and I look at their annuity and I say, well, wait a minute, you have 3% in fees. You're not getting a 5% return, you're getting a 2% return. So be careful on how all those fees can add up inside an annuity. If you have a fixed period annuity, do you need to review the options at the end of the annuity term? So those are some issues that we can talk about up front, but we also want to make sure we want to review the rating of the insurance company you're considering. Once you've figured out the type of annuity, the things that you'd want out of that annuity, look at the company that's backing it. The annuity guarantee is only guaranteed as much as that annuity company. So make sure you look at S&P, Moody's. I like Comdeck for ratings that I look at because they're a combination of ratings, and it's a little bit easier to understand for clients. Do you need to consider trade-offs associated with the assets you've used to purchase the annuity? This is an area sometimes I get a little flustered about because I get aggravated when I see these IRA or employer retirement plan lump sum payments into an annuity. It moves there tax-free, but consider the drawbacks associated with this strategy. You lose flexibility, you may have high fees, and I struggle with the fact that some people come to me think they're getting this tax-deferred wrapper because of the annuity. Well, you've already had that because it's an IRA or an employer retirement plan, and you don't need an additional expense of a deferred tax wrapper around there. So be careful why you're choosing the annuity for that aspect of the annuity and the funding of the annuity. And then by buying an asset from your taxable investments, they would achieve a tax-deferred future growth. Now, this sounds feasible to a lot of people in high tax rate, income tax rates. However, tax consequences of the transaction and the flexibility you may give up purchasing an annuity. Sometimes, again, these contracts can be very, very lengthy. And I know for most of our clients, they want flexibility and to be able to pivot at certain times. So be careful when you're making these decisions on where to fund the annuity. Do you prefer to make periodic payments? You don't have to take a lump sum. You can pay over time on a monthly or an annually and contribute to that annuity. Now, mind you, be careful again, because these are complex contracts. Every time you put money in, does that start a new clock for you on those monies? So 10-year, and then year 5, you go to put more money in. Does that stretch out your contract another 5 years? Is it beneficial to wait to purchase an annuity until you built up other retirement saving or until rates rise? And yes, we're seeing rates rise. I do remember the good old days of 8, 7, and 6% guaranteed. And we haven't had that in quite a long time. So here we are back in a rising interest rate environment. Maybe those will come back. Concerned about volatility? Consider a laddered strategy to help you smooth out the risk. And then lastly, and always, I love to talk about the tax issues. Do you need to compare an annuity with other savings options that offer preferential income tax treatment? During the term of an annuity contract, your investment grows tax-free. Ordinary income tax will be due when annuity payments are received, and the amount depends upon the type of annuity contract, qualified or non-qualified. Again, this is a major misconception that people have about annuities. I have all this tax-deferred account that I'm going to put in this taxable investment account, that I'm going to put in this tax-deferred vehicle. And why am I being charged income tax rates, not long-term capital gains rate? That is a big misconception a lot of people have. You will be taxed at income tax rates, and the amount again is dependent on whether or not it's qualified or non-qualified. This is why having a CPA by your side also helps. So when you contact us, we can look at your tax plan and look at the future of your taxes and figure out what we're doing here. And paying rates at long-term capital gains rate is much more efficient than paying them at income tax rates. Other saving strategies, such as taxable brokerage accounts, may offer a more beneficial tax treatment. Qualified dividends and long-term capital gains, depending on your tax bracket in retirement. Make sure you understand tax planning is future looking. Where my tax bracket is today may not be where it is tomorrow in retirement. Unlike many other retirement accounts, there is no contribution limit and no RMDs. That could be beneficial to some clients. Do you need to review how different types of annuities are taxed? For qualified annuities, all dollars withdrawn are taxed at ordinary income. For non-qualified annuities, only the earnings are taxed at ordinary income with withdrawn. Remember, that's a big part of it because I could have gotten long-term care rates. An exclusion ratio, which is based upon your life expectancy, depending on when you need that money and how old you are, determines the taxable amount of the distributions. After you reach your life expectancy, future distributions will be taxed at ordinary income. It's a lot to box in there, a lot to hold up. Again, that's why tax planning is so important, and that's why we hammer tax planning here. Do you need to consider potential incidental tax consequences of annuity payments? Look at your total income projections. Mind the domino effect where annuity payments increase gross income and can increase taxation of Social Security benefits. Be mindful of those taxes and how they are and how they align, because income tax is one portion, but people also forget about IRMA and how does that affect my Medicare premiums. These are the domino effects of certain things, of proper planning before you get there. Make sure you can pivot when you do get there. Do you have after-tax retirement accounts that you want to convert to a guaranteed stream of income later? And I completely understand this mindset because our parents and prior generations had pensions. We now have 401ks. Can I convert that 401k into a pension? You could purchase a qualified longevity annuity contract, a QLAC, with assets from these accounts if offered, up to the lesser of 25% of your total balance or a cap of $145,000. So those are some options that are available to you to make you more at ease and pull some risk off the table. You can choose when to annuitize your QLAC. Boy, as this video goes longer, deferral withdraws up to age 85. Review what riders and benefits may be available. In miscellaneous, is there a less expensive strategy to help meet your goals? So is it tax management of your taxable investment? There's a lot of ways we can do that outside of an annuity now that our clients have taken advantage of. Look at the alternatives that are there without choosing an annuity. Yes, an annuity is fantastic. Yes, it's guaranteed. And there's a lot of great things about annuity, but I'm trying to bring you all the negative things that we need to look at for annuity. Do you need to compare the risk of premature death to longevity risk? This is why in some of my videos, you hear me talk about your medical background. How long is your life expectancy, and working with your doctor and say, hey, listen, I understand these are my issues that I have that are in my medical record. What is my life expectancy? And yes, they can't tell you an exact date, but it helps. It does help. And also looking at your genetic makeup and your family history can help as well. Are you considering the annuity as an estate planning strategy to protect your surviving spouse or heirs? This is a wonderful way to look at an annuity. If so, consider what options of beneficiaries will have upon your passing. Sometimes a spouse can just take over the contract. It's very easy. And how do we pass that along to our beneficiaries? Do you own an existing annuity contract or life insurance policy that you would like to replace? One way that we often look at this is called a 1035 exchange, one insurance product for another insurance product, and doing that without having a big tax hit. That's a real simple thing for us to do. But again, most people don't know about this 1035 exchange and how we make that happen between two contracts without having tax consequences. And are there any other state specific issues that you have? Boy, what a great checklist we've had here. It is a very deep conversation. And once these conversations are had, we can make a decision to go to annuity or not to an annuity. And I think the best part about dealing with somebody who's a fiduciary, who is fee only and is wholly independent, is you are not beholden to sell an annuity because that's the company that you work for, and you need to help their shareholder price. Find somebody that has a good way of looking at things, that is a full-time fiduciary that's sitting on your side of the table to say, yes, an annuity is right, or no, it's not right. And that will help guide you to what company might be the best company for you, and all those other things that you're looking for, such as those riders. So we appreciate you being here. As always, Gateway Financial, visit us at mygatewaymoney.com. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, hit the thumbs up. We much appreciate you being here. And I hope this gave you a little insight into annuities and just how complicated they are. And once we get further into that discussion, we'll show you how much more complicated they can get and all the different results and the numbers and working out those quotes and just finding the right annuity that might be best for you and your family situation. Thank you and have a great day.